Hello Waste family! Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the lumber that we have so that everyone is nice and educated so that we can better help customers. There's a few things to start with lumber, so the comparison that we have with prices and quality is going to be mostly up against the big box stores. A lot of those stores, they're not going to quite carry the same species that we do. We are carrying a Doug fir board for our regular 2x, and they may not be. And then there's also, I wanted to explain the grade of lumber to you as well. So there's number one, which is cream of the crop, best boards. We're carrying number two, just one tier below number one. There's 3, 4, there's 8 or 7 or 8 or 9 different tiers. Most of the big box, they may be near the bottom, which is why you get complaints about curvy wood or splinters or knots, and that's really what the grades mean. Number one is just a premium board, perfectly straight, not a lot of knots, not a lot of the corners are good, so you might not see some of this stuff on the board. It's going to be pretty darn square, but because of price, we're carrying a number two. Still a really good board. Some of them might be absolutely amazingly beautiful and look like number ones. Some of them might have a few more knots and stuff, so we could get customers that would like to pick through them, find a perfect board. Maybe they need that. I have no problem with that. We want to get the customer taken care of. If we just ask them just to put it back, if they do pull off some boards, just to put them back where they go while they're finding whatever they need to find. But overall, been really impressed with the quality of lumber that we have. So that's kind of a good overview. There's a few different types of lumber. We're stocking some very basic sizes. We can order absolutely anything. So when it comes to lumber, we can special order anything. We get our delivery once a week. Throw an insulation on there. We've got Trex boards and the railing that goes with it. There's a ton out there, a ton available. So if we don't have it, we can certainly try our best to get it. And just asking somebody that can make a phone call real quick. They're very helpful for our supplier, and that transfers over to baseboard, trim, crown molding, and interior and exterior doors. Most of that stuff is kind of on a special order basis, but if someone's doing a house, we've got really good prices on those and can help them out locally. So besides the special orders, focus today is what we are actually stocking, and I just wanted to explain a little bit just for someone that hasn't really dealt with lumber. I've certainly learned a lot since getting into this. So our standard board is going to be like, this is a 2x4x8, and I just wanted to show you that it's not a true 2 inches, it's not a true 4 inches. It is a true 8 foot. It might be 8 foot and 1 inch, 8 foot and a half an inch. It's a hair longer than 8 foot, but there's a little bit of an undercut. So when we look at this, a 2x4 is actually going to measure 1.5 inches by 3.5, and that's what's commonly referred to as a 2x4. The 2x6 board that I have next to it is a 2x6x8. You can see the length's the same. It's the same deal, 1/2 inch undercut. So it's going to measure 1.5 inches by 5.5 inches, making that a 2x6 inch board. We carry those two boards in 8 foot long, 10 foot long, 12 foot long, and 16 foot long. We can order longer. The bundles, usually we'll be able to do a bulk price for folks if someone's after, let's say 100 or more might be a good number to stick in everyone's head. So by all means ask, or we'll try to work with people and get them taken care of. We've been able to maintain very good pricing, but of course we're happy to work with folks doing bulk discounts and working on a project with them. So some other common pieces that we aren't carrying, there are some 2x2 lumber that some folks will ask for. We just haven't gotten a lot of requests for those. And then in addition to the 2x4s and the 2x6s that we have, again, 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, and 16 foot long. There are 2x8s, there are 2x10s, and there are 2x12s. We have sold those and we'll stock them from time to time. The inventory on the lumber spreadsheet should be correct and accurate for price, but we don't get a ton of requests for those. It just hasn't been enough to dedicate space and stock it. But on a 2x12 by, let's say, 18 or 20 foot, we can order them by the piece for the most part. So we can still get it in. It might, we just talking about what we have in stock ready to go for the customer. So all of our labels, we've tried really hard to make sure everything's got this red tag on there so it doesn't break off. Some of them definitely have, so not a perfect system, but that'll show us our 2x4 by 8, 2x4 by 10, like right above. And then as we get longer that way, the most important thing we've got is just making sure that we're getting the item that the customer actually needed and paid for. We have had some customers where they knew what they needed, knew what we paid for, but they ended up selecting the wrong item back here. And anyway, just easier to have labels and check. So all of this is standard boards. We're gonna try to go up here, and we have what are these red boards up here. They are pressure treated, and the red pressure treat is it's able to be buried in dirt or against concrete, and it will not rot, whereas the regular boards untreated will rot very quickly. And so that's what that designates. We can get these bigger pressure treated stuff in a regular board if it's not going to be used in the dirt or the soil. Sometimes you do need a beam, but for the most part, folks are using these for decking or like I said, on concrete. So the bottom of the wall, when you're framing, you'll have that pressure treat board going all the way around and in contact, and then you'll use the regular untreated lumber, the regular Doug fir lumber going up as you build. So it's really just for that first plate that happens in construction. In those, we do have a 2x4 by 16 and a 2x6 by 16 in a pressure treated board. And right now we do have a few green boards. The difference between the green and the red is not a huge difference, and we're probably not going to have green in the future. But the green's a little bit cheaper, but it cannot be used with soil. It can only be used with concrete. Whereas the red or the brown, whatever you want to call it, that lumber, that can be used either concrete or soil, so it's a bit more versatile. But we carry those in 16-foot lengths. Again, 2x4 by 16, 2x6 by 16 in the pressure treated. Above me, you'll see some posts that are pressure treated. Again, usually for a deck or stairs, something like that. Those are a 4x4 by 8 foot and a 4x4 by 16 foot, and we have 6x6 by 8 foot and 6x6 by 16 foot. And those we've got those sizes. They're definitely hefty. Most folks are just purchasing the 8-footers, but occasionally you need something longer, which is why we've decided to bring it in, and we're just always trying to take that demand to determine what we actually carry and stock. But that leads me to my next statement here, which is those boards, they're fairly high up, they're fairly heavy. I don't expect anyone to do that by themselves or to do it all. Just safety's number one. Do not, don't do something. We don't want anyone getting hurt. So by all means, ask for help. Happy to run up. We'll grab the forklift. We want to do everything safe. So don't ever feel like you're forced to. If the customer has to wait a few minutes, that's a lot better than someone getting hurt. So just be safe. It's all good. That's the most important. So that's kind of handled with the heavy stuff. Then we're going to go into the other lumber items and the drywall items. So with a drywall, there's a lot of different sizes available, but by far the most common is a 4x8 sheet of 1/2-inch drywall, and that's what most folks are wanting. That's why it's low to the ground and we can pull the sheets off. Some folks do need a 5/8. You need that for fire code sometimes, but those are the most popular drywall items. They are by the sheet. They come in bundles of 2 sheets, and there's a little strip you rip off on the end to separate the sheets, just because they come 2 together, but it is by the single sheet when we're loading them. So those are regular. You'll see some green treated drywall up there, a little bit higher, a little bit more difficult to get to. And that is moisture resistant drywall. That is something that someone is going to use in a bathroom, around a tub, around a shower, stuff like that. So usually folks just need a sheet or 2, not a huge deal, but we've got it because sometimes you do need a sheet or 2. So but that's what the green is. It is a moisture resistant drywall. There are other sizes. Again, we can order anything related, anything that the big boxes have, anything to build a house. There are, instead of 4x8 sheets of drywall, there's 4x12. For those that are a lot manlier than myself, they're heavy though. So we've sold some of those, not a big deal to order them in. Up above, we have some 1x4x8s and 1x6x8s. Those have been fairly popular for us, and they're a very clean board. They're more of a decorative board or a craft board. They're very clean, pretty free of knots, and again, I'd probably say they're more like a number 1 than a number 2 or anything else. Just as you go down that list of grades, you're just going to have a bit more knots, maybe some movement in the board not being completely straight. Maybe you'll be able to see where the bark was for the corners. But just another plug, just a reminder, hopefully that knowledge sets in. The 1x4x8s and the 1x6x8s, very clean but very nice. We've been doing quite a few of those, and anyway, easy to get to with a ladder, but again, it's high up. Don't push yourself. Happy to help. We want everybody to be safe. Right here, we have 1/2-inch OSB, and right here we have 1/2-inch plywood. I don't know if you can see it too well or if you need to come closer, but this stuff is super popular, but I want to make sure that we've got the names correct because not everyone knows the proper names. So this is OSB, that stands for Oriented Strand Board, and it's a bunch of chips basically pressed and glued together in a 4x8 sheet, and it is super common for anything and everything in building. It's used on the side of the house and the roof. The floor is usually made up of 3/4. It's called tongue and groove. Some folks might abbreviate that to T&G. We don't currently have any 3/4 inch in stock, but something that we do get asked for, and we'll probably go ahead and get in. But this 1/2-inch OSB is actually commonly called a 7/16 OSB. It's just a shade under but it is by far the most common piece of lumber that there is that people want. And then it's, like I said, pressed together, glued together particles. And that's contrasted with this. This is actually a true plywood. So sometimes some folks will call this a plywood. It's not technically a plywood. This is OSB. A plywood is actually bark ripped off a tree. It is multiple layers of the tree, but it's all one solid piece. So still kind of glued together, but it's more sturdy, and it's kind of in big pieces. Still a 4x8 sheet. It's a little bit more durable if you're not gonna paint it or cover it with anything, and it is that 7/16 size. It's identical to this, but it's some people just like this, whether they're used to it. But anyway, we're just going off of what people ask for. That's what people have been asking for. So hopefully that helps clear up some of the lumber we have, kind of tells you a little bit about the organization that we have, so we can be helpful for customers. Did I miss anything? The cameraman? No? We're good? Okay, cool. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and let's go help some customers.